Tuesday night saw President Trump's third State of the Union address, and without question, this was one of the most contentious nights, one of the most contentious State of the Unions ever. I mean, from the get-go, you could feel the chill that was the product of the frostiness between Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and President Trump. You could just feel it. It was ice cold, chilly, frosty, absolutely crazy. She extended her hand for a handshake when the president was giving herself and the vice president a copy of his speeches. He declined. No handshake for you, Nancy. And then instead of the usual introduction by the House Speaker saying, "I have the high privilege and distinct honour of presenting you the President of the United States," she simply went for members of Congress, the President of the United States. Bit of shade thrown there, especially with the whole impeachment thing going on, which, by the way, Trump steered clear of completely. He steered completely clear of impeachment. He waited till the next day to give his victory lap on that. But one of the more controversial moments of the night was right in the middle of the ceremony, where President Trump presented conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, Rush Limbaugh, conservative commentator, very, very popular on the right. He's been in this business for 30 years. Earlier this week, he was diagnosed with advanced lung cancer, and obviously it's a very, very sad diagnosis for him, but the president decided that this would be the perfect chance to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Literally, in the gallery, he was stood up, the First Lady was next to him, and it was actually the First Lady that presented him with the award. Now, he's been criticised by some on the left for being a very controversial and divisive figure. He is not seen as the unifying figure that the Presidential Medal of Freedom is normally awarded to. But by far the most dramatic event of the night was right at the very end. Trump concludes his speech, round of applause, standing ovation from the Republican side, and Pelosi stood right behind the president, literally takes his speech and rips it up behind his back. Rips it up. Just casually at the end. F this speech. When she was quizzed about it afterwards, it's hilarious. She actually said it was the courteous thing to do given the alternatives. I mean, what on earth could she have done to that speech other than rip it up? It just goes to show you how angry Democrats are about this president, and that really is a representation of the anger and the fury that's been manifesting over the last 3 years. Pelosi did say that hopefully this won't have to happen again because she is expecting a different president for the 2021 State of the Union address. We'll see if that pans out in November. And it goes to prove also just how much of a boss she is, really. She's a boss. I mean, remember the sideways clap from last year? I remember that. Now we have her ripping the paper. She really is meme material. And I'm not sure if it's intentional or if it's something that she's crafting to try and take on Donald Trump. I don't think Nancy Pelosi needs memes to take on the president. She's more than capable of taking him on herself, as we've seen in the past. But this is just another example of how it is that Nancy Pelosi can really throw the president off guard and capture the media narrative in the process too.